For me, the challenging bit was the first episode where I was meant to be older. To do that effectively without seeming like a younger person in old age makeup was a challenge. But our director Ryan, who directed that episode, was so helpful. Everybody was, Amy, Ryan, Matt, like everybody was incredible. So, and then in terms of being younger Jane, I think anytime you're playing a character who has some questionable behaviors, it's easy to sort of lean into the villainizing of them instead of figuring out why they behave the way they behave. So it was just an effort, not an effort. I made an effort to, with the help of Amy and our directors, not to do that, to simply play her as a woman doing the best that she could, because that is what she was doing. And that's ultimately where we get to, which is, I think is such a generous and loving way to tell a story.
It was, being on set, I definitely learned. I had a lot of difficult scenes. There's a lot of crying. So I definitely learned as an actor just to conserve my energy and, kind of do it and let it go after you're done with that scene. And I learned a lot from Laura, and Laura talked to me about that. We talked about that, and separating yourself from the character and making sure you have those boundaries set in place. I think I definitely learned a lot about creating, telling these stories in healthy ways that are hopefully people will be able to relate to. I learned a lot about kind of going to those darker places and kind of being okay with that. And I'm just excited for everyone to get to see it. So.
For me, the thing that kept flooding over me the whole time is the idea that we are all doing the best that we can. Even in moments where our loved ones hurt us beyond belief, they are in that moment doing the best that they can. And certainly you have to set boundaries with when people behave in that way, but you don't have to demonize them. And you don't have to hate them, and you don't have to let it ruin your life. To me, that's the biggest takeaway. And at a time where I do think we are just more divided than ever, at least in the States, to have a story that has zero political message at all, but really is about, what I just mentioned, people doing the best that they can. The empathy that engenders when you watch it, I think is really important, actually. And it's really funny.
I think the show is really about kind of coming to terms with your past and not shying away from it. And, there's a lot of things that young Beth has to go through. And I think older Beth is kind of learning how to deal with the fallout of that. But it's beautiful to see it unravel, and I think it's relatable, so I think, I think it's something that's pretty universal, and that's what I took from it.